Hey guys, so my name is Bree.
And I'm Sean.
And this is our first YouTube video. It's an intro video where I asked my followers on Instagram to send questions that they would want to know about us and we would answer them. So this is a total of 27 questions. And we're just gonna get right into it. So the first question is, how did you guys meet?
Sounds like I'm answering. We met online. We connected on a dating app, and eventually we were texting. I disappeared for a while and then returned. Then we started texting more and more, and I invited her over to my house for dinner, and that's how we first met.
Yeah. This was in 2019. I was here on the work and travel program here for the summer. So, how long have you guys been together?
About 2.5 years. So that first dinner date was July 3rd, 2019.
Huh.
And we, I guess, kind of about a month later had the talk and I guess made it official that we were seeing each other, I guess. If that's a thing, I don't know.
What is the age gap between you two?
I'll go first, age before beauty, as they say. So I'm 46.
I'm 21, but I'll be 22 November.
And I just turned 46 in August, about a month ago.
Yeah, so you can do the math. What is your nationality? I'm Jamaican.
I'm from the U.S., but since we're the melting pot, I'm part Italian, part English, part Irish, and part Lithuanian.
Okay, what made you guys decide to start interracial dating?
Black women are pretty. What do you want from me? I don't know. I'd only ever dated one black woman and then one woman from Panama who's a little darker skinned, but before Bree, so I didn't have a lot of experience with it, but I liked her pictures and she liked mine, and here we are.
Yeah, it wasn't for me, at least. It wasn't a thing where I want to be in an interracial relationship. It just happened that way.
Same. It wasn't something I was seeking out. It just occurred that way.
How different is it from dating someone of the same race and cultural background?
I think it's a lot easier for me because there are quite a few interracial relationships in the U.S. and it's not an unusual thing to see a white woman with a black man or a black man with a white woman. It's not an unusual thing. So it doesn't really, unless we encounter instances of subconscious racism or something like that in a restaurant or something, it doesn't really register when we're out and about.
Yeah. My answer is just
based on my answer, I would throw it to Bree and say, if we were living in Jamaica together, would it be more difficult than living in the U.S.?
I guess.
That's a solid answer.
For me, the difference is just getting to explore something different. Because I know things he doesn't know, he knows things I don't know, and we learn from each other about our backgrounds and our culture and what's cool and what's not. How do you feel when people assume you are...
Read it.
How do you feel when people assume you are using him because he's white? That's just sad.
That's a question for her, by the way.
That's just sad. As long as he knows like what my intentions are and what the relationship is about, I don't really care what people have to say because people are gonna assume regardless. So
it's interesting. We don't really consume ourselves with our races or the age gap. Some people on the outside do because they say, oh, older white guy, younger black girl, it's about money. No, there's none of that. And quite honestly, that would make me an idiot. I mean, if that's not what I was looking for and that's what I found myself in, I would exit. So here we are, married and in love and learning from each other. So,
do you receive backlash from others seeing that there's an age and race difference?
Backlash? That's a difficult question. I don't receive any. I mean, my family's been really supportive. They really enjoy Bree's company. We're there weekly or, every 10 days for dinner with my parents, my brother and his girlfriend and my son. So I don't receive any backlash.
I mean, there has been negative comments on Instagram, but...
Oh, yeah, it's true.
People are going to say what they want to say. It's just... Ugh.
We're above it.
Yeah, it's... What inspired you guys to do YouTube?
This was her thing, so I'll let her take that.
So my friends are always, why don't you guys do YouTube? It would be so interesting. And then our personalities are just... It's mainly because we're always encouraged to do it. And it's a good, why not?
She mentioned it to me. I thought, why not? Then later on down the road, she mentioned that we might be able to make some money doing it. And I thought it was all in all a good thing because people can see age gap, racial difference, relationships can succeed, number one, and people can be really happy and rise above any negativity and actually be positive for other people who are out there like us. I was skeptical until I saw a live on Instagram of a couple that was similarly situated as us, an older white guy and happened to be a younger Jamaican girl, and they had a really good conversation. I was like, if that's what you want to do, I'm all about that. I think that's a good idea.
What kind of videos will you guys be posting? Challenges, story times, pranks here and there, but it's not a prank. The prank is not gonna be a every day or every other day or every week thing. I don't think. I want it to be as genuine as possible. So
vlogging,
yeah, of our trips.
Go places and do things. We'll put that on the channel. And a word about pranks. If anyone out here that really subscribes to us or is interested in us thinks they're going to see me try to prank her by some ex-girlfriend or some other sneaky link or side chick coming into my phone or any of that kind of stuff, that's never going to happen from me. Just letting y'all know that now.
When will you guys be getting married and where? We're already married. Yeah. We got married on the 1st of September. It was small though. It was here in the US. It was just at a courthouse because I'm planning on having an actual wedding back in Jamaica when I'm able to go back, so my family and my friends can be there. Favorite thing about each other?
She thinks I'm attractive. I think my favorite thing about her is she's smart and she's not opinionated to the point where it's a detriment. She has her opinions, make no mistake, and when she believes she's in the right or there's no information to suggest otherwise, she backs them strongly. But the other side of that coin is when she hears a different view that's not in line with hers and that makes more sense to her, her opinion will change. And I respect that greatly because people my age have trouble with that, and it's really difficult or really unusual to see a younger person with that mentality. So that's one of the things I love about her very much. Well, probably the most, because obviously with multicultural situation and age gap situation and all that, we're going to have some disagreements on things, something that's not acceptable here but acceptable in Jamaica or vice versa. And when we're able to discuss that, it makes things very easy.
My favorite thing about him is he's super smart. All right. Yeah, I learn a lot from him, and he's reliable. That is...
Give an example.
Yeah. Like, if he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. So if he says, I'm going to be there at 10 o'clock, he's going to be there at 10 o'clock. If he says, I'm getting it tomorrow, he's going to get it tomorrow. You know, he's just, his word is it. If he tells you this is what is going to happen, unless it's something he absolutely cannot control, that's just how it's going to go. And I really like that. When do you guys plan to have kids? In 2023. Mainly because I stopped out of college. I was going to NCU and I ended up having to move to the US before I was finished. So I really want to get my degree before I have a child. I just think, because my life has changed so much in a short period of time, I just really want that to remain. I want my degree before I have a kid. It's a personal thing.
And because she's done a lot to be here, I'm supportive of that. Although if she were to end up pregnant next month or something, I wouldn't object, because I'm much older than her and we just view time differently, and that's all. But you know, since she's really done the lion's share as far as uprooting her entire life so that we could have a life together, then I'm supportive of that choice.
Wait, what do you guys enjoy doing?
Well, since it's a family program, and we like going out. We play board games with my son. We watch series and movies together. We enjoy going places. I find that because she's an intelligent person, she's very interested in learning things. For example, a couple weeks back, Bree, myself, and my son went to Mount Vernon, which is George Washington's home, our first president, father of our country, all that kind of stuff. And for me, I want to take my son because it was educational, and I wasn't sure how Bree would react, if she'd be really into it, this is boring as hell, or somewhere in the middle. And she was really into it. She read most of the plaques, she was listening to the tour guides, she asked a couple questions, and it was a really good experience. So I really enjoyed doing things like that. We've been to the beach, we've been to Hershey Park, and that's just the start in a brief time since she's been here.
Is a little boy your stepson? Yes. Yes, he is. How are you liking your new environment? Good, I guess. I don't really get to do much because I'm not allowed to work at this point, and I'm not allowed to drive.
Hold on, real quick. That's not because of me.
Yeah, it's not because of him. It's the whole legal process of everything to get me, like, doing stuff like a regular citizen. I'm basically a housewife at this point.
We have to get a work permit legally for her to be able to work, and then driving, we have to establish residency so that she can sit for the test and then take driving school. So those things are going to take a little bit of time. So she's kind of landlocked to the house, so to speak, which she makes it work. God bless her.
How are you adjusting to the role of being a stepmother? I guess pretty well. I don't know how to explain it. I don't feel like it comes with a lot of responsibility. Probably because I have a younger sister, I'm not sure. It's just not, it's good. We get along. It's okay.
That's the main thing. They get along. Owen really enjoys spending time with her. They play games together. Sometimes if I'm at work early, she'll manage breakfast and things like that. If I'm out at the gym or something, they'll be here together doing fine. it hasn't become rocky yet because there hasn't been any need for her to tell him no or ask him not to do something in a serious way or discipline him. Things may change a little bit if that occurs, but I'm not anticipating that because Owen knows I punch back. So.
Do you have a brother? I have brothers.
Is that a question for me? If it is, yes, I have a brother. He's 2 years older than me. He lives about 20 minutes away with our parents. Sorry. I hit the camera, my bad.
What makes a good, strong relationship?
3 things for me. Above all, honesty, loyalty, communication. My wife puts a premium here on security and self-confidence. And I agree, those are really important. For me, those come from honesty, loyalty, and communication. Like, I'm of the mindset that whatever the problem is, it can be resolved so long as there's communication about it. Honest communication, not holding back, telling how you feel, expressing why you're upset, and dealing with it up front. And if 2 people can do that, I feel like there's a real good shot they're going to be together for a long time.
I agree. There's nothing I really want to add to that. How has this relationship been different from your previous, and what caused you to settle?
I'm not sure I like that word, settle.
Like settle down, get married.
I'm excited, actually, at the prospect for what we can build. I know it sounds like cliche or odd, but I like when she wasn't here and we were dating. I didn't like coming home because I was by myself when my son wasn't home. I like her companionship. I like her support. I like being around her. I'm really interested to see her in school and become a mother and do all that stuff and start her career. And I'm just really excited because I know she's a very smart person, so I'm really excited to see that and be a part of it. I think she's blushing.
How has it been different? So many ways. There's just so many ways. There's just so many things that is in this relationship that just wasn't in prior relationships. Good things. So it's really different.
Give me like one or 2 examples.
Okay, so we communicate about our issues. I have more problems with it than he does because I tend to just don't want to speak when I get upset. But I'm learning to voice my feelings in order to solve problems or get rid of tension. And like, he's honest. Like, it's
she's like, what? Like, what is that?
There's a lot. There's just a lot. There's a lot. Oh, and what caused you to? Yeah, because there are all those good things. Like, why not? Why not do it? I'm happy.
I mean, don't mistake it. I mean, we go to battle sometimes. We've had a couple tough ones, but it's how you make up and it's how you fight that matters. If you fight fair and you're not petty and you don't do things to exacerbate the situation. For example, I mean, we had one a couple weeks back. Actually, might have been a day or 2 ago. I'm just kidding. But there was a situation where I made a request and she had previously offered that thing, and then in the moment, and I turned it down, and then she offered it, and then she refused, and it kind of made me take a step back, and I understood why she refused because I declined initially. But then I asked her, I said, do you find that refusing me now is helpful or hurtful to us progressing to a better place? And it took her a little while to come around, but she was like, it's not helpful. And then in the end, we got to a point where I said my bad for declining, and she was like, okay, here it is. So we're learning how to fight fair and to not hold grudges. And when someone, the most important thing is this, pay very close attention. Someone screws up and they know they've screwed up and they come to you and they say, I was wrong. I know I screwed up. I'll do better next time. You say thank you, I appreciate it, and don't say anything else. Because the worst thing you can do is make that person feel worse by saying, you're darn right, you shouldn't have done that dumb stuff, blah, blah, blah. And we don't do that to each other. So we feel, I hate to use like this millennial concept of safety, but we feel safe doing that. We feel safe apologizing to each other because we know neither one of us is going to take advantage of it and make it into a negative. So it makes resolutions of issues much easier.
Mm-hmm. Who said I love you first?
I don't know for sure, but probably me. Who's more apt to talk about their feelings?
He did.
That doesn't mean she didn't love me first. It just means I said it first.
Well, the question is who said it?
It's true.
How soon did you know you wanted to spend the rest of your lives with each other? And what pushed it?
You gonna answer first? Should I talk first? You
talk first? I would say it was not long. It wasn't long. It's just what pushed it is just his traits, his character, just him as a person and how he is. You'll find that I really have trouble talking about stuff like this. I'm not good at expressing.
She's become a lot better in the 2 years that I've known her, though. So, growth.
Yeah. But it was just getting to know him, the type of person he is. I got really comfortable with him really soon and realized that it just wasn't a front. It was just who he is. So I was just like, yes.
And that's pretty good for me. For me, I already said I thought she was smart, and when we first met, our first couple dates, none of our time together was awkward. So before she was heading back to Jamaica in September, she spent 2 years living here 2 weeks living here with my son and I. And during that time period, I had a real sticky situation at work, which required me to prepare some written thing that I really put a lot of time into, and it caused me a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. So we were sitting at the breakfast counter one day, and she just picked it up and started reading it. She read the whole thing, 12 to 15 pages of it, the legal document, not something like pleasure reading. Put it down, and then started asking me intelligent questions about it. And I was just like, yeah, you're not going anywhere. You're going to stick around for a while. And I know it sounds kind of stupid when I say it, but that meant a lot insofar as her taking an interest in what was going on with my life. Not whether, I'm attractive to her or I've good qualities or any of that kind of stuff. Like, she took an interest on what was troubling me and what was going on in my life. And her questions and talking about it with her helped me kind of deal with my anxiety. So I want someone like that in my corner. I wanted her. So there we go.
Stop making me blush.
No one cares.
How often did you guys see each other when you were doing long distance? Initially, when I left September 2019. I saw him on a monthly basis until Corona came. So I saw him pretty often. I saw him October, November, December, into January. I saw him February. And then there was Corona and closed borders. And
then I caught Corona in July, August. So from March through September of 2020, we didn't see each other.
Yeah.
Which sucked. There's a really cute video too of when I finally got my travel.
Anyways,
when I finally got my travel authorization, like they sent it, and I screenshot it and I sent it to her, and her sister recorded her. But she was really happy. I'll just say it like that.
Okay, thank you.
Tears and all. It was great. I still have it on my phone. I'll throw it up on the channel one day.
No. No. Yeah, but we saw each other pretty often. What is your career choice now? I guess that question is mine. I'm still going along with teaching. Hopefully after I get my degree I can do something else. But I already started and I was 3 years in. So I'm just gonna continue that. But I'm not really excited about teaching here.
American kids these days are a little bit entitled and spoiled, so.
Yeah.
Not my son.
How did the relationship progress?
I'm not really, actually, not really sure if that's like a timeline question or how did we talk about it, but it moved pretty quickly from our first date. We decided that we were gonna start dating kind of like officially about a month and a half later, sometime mid-August, and then 2019, and then from then on we pretty much saw each other as much as we could until she went home, and then monthly until Corona, and then we worked through immigration. So
after the first date, it was just
it
was just continuous.
I mean, there's a meme going around right now. It says something along the lines of, imagine your life without someone you used to talk to every day. Like the converse is true. Like I can't imagine like not being around her. And like my life was okay before. There were periods in time where I was really happy, but having someone in your life that just supplements you and supports you and wants to grow with you is a really, really cool thing. And I'm all about it.
Okay, so we have only 2 questions left. What? Occupation. I was a student.
I'm an attorney.
First impression.
Just tall.
He's short.
No, it's interesting. We got this question on our live last night, and my first word was quitter. She rang my doorbell on our first date, and I didn't answer because I was new to this house and no one had ever rang the doorbell before, so I didn't know what the noise was. So when I got to the door, she was already walking down the driveway and leaving. So
I rang the doorbell 3 times, but I'll do a story time about our first date. And show that I'm not a quitter.
It's true. She came back
3 times.
And when her first words to me, I'll never get them, do you still want to see me? And I was like, yes. Come in. Her hair looks different now than it did then, but she was still pretty.
But yeah, that's all the questions. Is there anything you want to add?
The matching shirts weren't really an intentional thing. We went to my son's soccer game this morning and he plays on the red team, so these are red shirts, so here we are.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my answer for the first impression, that he's white. I mean, I knew that before, but when I saw him, when he came to the door and I walked up and we were just looking at him, I'm just like, you're white.
Yeah. I was also semi-disabled. I was about literally a month out of knee surgery, so that was a little sketchy. Made getting around a little difficult, but we made it work. So those are the questions that we are going to answer for today.
Yeah. Oh, don't forget to subscribe and join the family. I mean, this is our first video. There's going to be more, and we'll hopefully get better at it. This is our...
You just said family that Owen will be involved. He's excited about that. It'll probably be limited just because I don't need him all over YouTube, but at the same time, he's really into the idea, so you guys will get to see him through the channel, especially when we take trips and things like that.
So don't forget to subscribe, and you can follow me on my Instagram at @theofficialdoll. I'll put it down at the bottom. He doesn't want much attention to his Instagram page. So yeah, the official doll, and subscribe and be a part of the family and our journey. And we'll see you next time.